There's a secret that only a rare kind of man understands, the kind who doesn't chase, doesn't beg, and never feels the need to prove himself. He doesn't try too hard. Yet women can't stop thinking about him. Why? Because he knows how to create tension, mystery, and desire without ever saying too much or giving too much away. In a world where most men make things easy, he makes her work for it. He knows that true attraction isn't about grand gestures or desperate compliments, it's about control. And once you master this, women won't just want you. They'll crave you. Ready to learn the truth. Let's dive in. The man who knows how to tease her drives her wild. There's a secret that the most magnetic men understand: women don't want everything handed to them. They don't want a man who spills his emotions all over the place, who tells her exactly how he feels, who makes things too easy. They want tension. They want the build-up. They want the chase. And nothing makes a woman crave a man more than a master of teasing, a man who flirts with just enough restraint to make her want more. A man who makes her laugh but with a touch of challenge. A man who shows desire but never in a way that feels desperate. Because when you learn how to tease a woman just right, you make her body react before her mind even realizes what's happening. Teasing isn't just about making her laugh, it's about creating an emotional roller coaster. One where she's never quite sure what's coming next. And this unpredictability triggers dopamine, the same chemical that fuels addiction. That's why women can't resist men who push and pull. One moment you compliment her, then you playfully take it back, you make her feel wanted. But then you act like you're not fully sold on her yet. Challenge her instead of showering her with validation. Make her work for it. Oh. So you think you're cute? I don't know. I might need some more convincing. Make her chase instead of always being available. You keep just enough distance to make her wonder, does he like me or is he just messing with me? And that uncertainty, that's what makes her obsessed. The best teasing happens in layers. It's not just about what you say. It's about how you say it, when you say it, and how you follow it up, with words you know. I was going to take you seriously, but then you went and did that thing with your hair. Now I don't know, with touch, when she reaches for your hand. You pull away with a smirk. Just for a second before finally letting her have it, with timing, you act like you're about to kiss her. Let the tension build. Then lean back and say, "Not yet." And when you do this right, you make her hang on your every move. You make her desperate for the moment you finally give in. Because teasing creates tension. And tension is the secret ingredient to sexual attraction. Most men either one try too hard to impress her. They throw compliments, gifts, and attention at her hoping she'll like them. She won't. Two, play it too safe. They're afraid to say anything bold, so they bore her into oblivion. But the man who keeps her guessing, who keeps her on her toes, makes her laugh, makes her crave more, that's the man who stays on her mind. Because when you tease her just right, she's not just attracted to you, she's addicted to you. 2. The man who can walk away owns the game. There's one undeniable truth about attraction that most men never understand: the man who is willing to walk away is the man who holds all the power. Think about it, what makes something valuable? Is it the thing that's always available? Always desperate to be chosen? Always chasing? Begging? Or trying to prove itself? Or is it the thing that stands firm? The thing that demands to be earned? The thing that people must work for? Scarcity breeds value. And this applies to everything in life. including attraction. Women are wired to chase what they perceive as valuable. It's a psychological trigger buried deep in their instincts. They don't want what's easy, they want what's just out of reach. And the second a man proves that he's willing to walk away, that's when she starts chasing. The moment a woman realizes that you are not dependent on her validation, that's the moment her perception of you shifts. You're no longer just another man trying to win her over. You become the challenge. You become the mystery she wants to solve. Most men don't do this, they cling to women, afraid to lose them. They text back instantly. They agree to everything. They revolve their world around her. And in doing so they destroy their own value. But the man who walks away, he creates a psychological reaction in her brain. Suddenly she starts thinking, wait, why isn't he chasing me? Why does he seem so unbothered? Did I misjudge him? And just like that, you flip the dynamic. She's no longer in control. Now you are. Attraction isn't about needing a woman. It's about not needing her. It's about showing through your actions that you are perfectly fine whether she stays or not. You're not afraid to leave. You're not affected by her mood swings. You're not desperate for her approval. And when a woman senses that, she can't help but be drawn to you. This is why you see women obsessing over the men who don't care. The men who don't text back immediately. The men who don't try too hard. It's not because these guys are jerks. It's because they refuse to make her the center of their universe. They know that they are the prize. And once you understand this, once you internalize it, you'll never chase a woman again. Because the truth is, if she's not afraid of losing you, she'll never truly respect you. And the second she feels like she might lose you, that's when you become irresistible. 3. The man who can whisper dirty without saying a single word. There's a kind of man who can make a woman's body react before he ever lays a hand on her. A man who can make her heart race, her breathing change, her entire mood shift, without ever saying something obvious or crude. The secret, sexual tension, not the forced kind. Not the kind where a man blurts out something sexual too soon and kills the mood. I'm talking about the slow burn. The kind of tension that builds so subtly, so effortlessly, that she doesn't even realize she's getting pulled in until it's too late. And the men who master this, they never have to chase. Because once a woman feels this kind of tension, she'll be the one chasing you. Most men think that turning a woman on is about talking dirty. But in reality, it's about creating the feeling before the words ever leave your mouth. And you do that by holding eye contact just a little too long. Let her feel you watching her. Let her see that you're not in a rush. That you're in control. Lowering your voice, a deep, controlled tone hits her differently. It forces her to lean in. It makes her listen, pausing before you speak. Silence is powerful. A perfectly timed pause before a simple "what am I going to do with you?" can make her entire body react, brushing against her just barely, when your arm grazes hers. When your fingers linger for a second too long. When you guide her with a light touch. It's electric. Because here's the truth, women don't want everything spelled out. They don't want a man who blurts out his desires too soon. That kills the mystery. That makes it cheap. They want to feel it before they hear it. They want the slow build-up. They want the anticipation. Because the longer you make her wait, the more she'll want it. The difference between a man who turns a woman on effortlessly and a man who tries too hard comes down to one thing: control. The man who controls his pace wins. The man who holds back just enough wins. The man who makes her wonder, Is he going to kiss me or is he just teasing me? Wins. Because once a woman starts wondering, she starts craving. And once she's craving, she's already yours. 4. The man who makes her feel like a woman can have her any time he wants. There's a hidden truth about attraction that most men never tap into. A truth so powerful that once you understand it, women will start looking at you differently. Craving you. Wanting to be around you. Feeling a tension they can't quite explain. And that truth is this: a man who knows how to make a woman feel truly feminine, deeply, irresistibly feminine, can have her whenever he wants. It's not about looks. It's not about money. It's about how you make her feel in your presence. Women are constantly stuck in their heads, overthinking, planning, worrying about how they're perceived. But the second she's in front of a man who makes her feel desired in the rawest way possible, she stops thinking. She starts feeling. She becomes completely drawn into the moment. And once a woman feels that pull toward you, there's no stopping what happens next. Most men try too hard to impress women. They think the key to attraction is saying the right thing, looking perfect, or proving their worth. But the men who women crave, the ones who effortlessly make them weak in the knees, understand that attraction isn't about trying. It's about presence. A man with deep sexual presence doesn't need to say much. He doesn't need to act out. He doesn't need to perform. All he has to do is exist in a way that reminds her she's a woman. And that means holding eye contact just a little longer than necessary, letting her feel the weight of your gaze, making her heart pound just from the way you look at her, speaking slowly, deliberately, with confidence, no nervous energy, no over-explaining, just pure, controlled dominance in your voice, owning your space, a man who moves with certainty, who takes up space like he belongs wherever he stands, exudes a quiet, intoxicating power, touching with intention, a light touch on the small of her back as you guide her through a door. The brush of your fingers on hers when you take a drink from her hand, subtle but electric. It's these tiny moments, the moments that are barely noticeable but completely undeniable, that make a woman's mind spin with thoughts she'll never admit out loud. Here are some audience reactions after reading this news. The psychology of attraction and teasing, lessons and insights. Attraction is not merely about looks or wealth, it is fundamentally rooted in psychology. The content you provided explores 4 key principles that govern attraction, each of which reveals deep insights into human behavior. Let's analyze these principles and extract valuable lessons from them. The power of teasing, creating tension and desire. Women are drawn to men who create an emotional roller coaster, maintaining a balance between desire and restraint. Teasing, when done correctly, triggers dopamine release in the brain, the same chemical associated with addiction and pleasure. A man who understands this does not hand over his affections too easily. Instead, he introduces moments of doubt and excitement, making a woman crave his attention. This is done through playful banter, slight physical withdrawal, and an air of unpredictability. The best teasing happens in layers. Instead of overwhelming a woman with compliments, mix in playful challenges. For instance, "Oh, so you think you're cute? I don't know. I might need more convincing," or "I was about to take you seriously, but then you did that thing with your hair, now I'm not sure." By maintaining a balance of attraction and mystery, a man keeps a woman engaged and emotionally invested. The man who can walk away holds the power. Scarcity creates value. The man who is willing to walk away from a woman holds all the power in the dynamic. Most men make the mistake of being overly available, which diminishes their perceived value. Women, like most people, are drawn to things they cannot easily obtain. The moment a man demonstrates that he is not dependent on her validation, he shifts the dynamic. To embody this principle, a man should avoid being too eager to respond to texts or agree to last-minute plans. Maintain personal goals and priorities regardless of his romantic interests. And show confidence in his ability to walk away, signaling that he is not emotionally desperate. This mindset makes a man more attractive because he is seen as a challenge rather than a guaranteed option. The subtle power of sexual tension. The best seduction does not rely on explicit words but rather on the build-up of silent tension. Women respond strongly to non-verbal cues, prolonged eye contact, controlled vocal tone, and slight touches. These elements create a subconscious response, making the attraction feel organic rather than forced. To master the art of building tension, a man should hold eye contact slightly longer than normal, making her feel his gaze. Lower his voice slightly when speaking to create a deeper connection. Pause before responding, allowing silence to amplify the moment. And use light, intentional touches that leave room for anticipation. These techniques stimulate a woman's imagination, making her desire more interaction without the need for overtly sexual remarks. Making a woman feel truly feminine. A man who understands how to bring out a woman's femininity can create deep, lasting attraction. Many women spend their daily lives in states of stress, decision-making, and high responsibility. A man who allows her to relax into her natural feminine energy, by leading with confidence, creating emotional security, and fostering playful tension, offers her something rare and irresistible. Leading the interaction with confidence. Whether it's choosing a venue or setting the tone of the conversation. Speaking in a calm, deliberate manner to evoke a sense of security and control. And using light, dominant gestures such as guiding her by the small of her back when walking through a crowded space can make a man naturally compelling without needing to boast or seek validation. Mastering the art of attraction. Attraction is not about chasing or overcompensating. It is about understanding human psychology and using it effectively. By incorporating teasing, demonstrating the ability to walk away, creating subtle tension, and bringing out a woman's femininity, a man can naturally enhance his desirability. The key takeaway is control, not just of the woman's emotions, but of oneself. The most attractive men are those who do not seek approval but instead create an experience that leaves a lasting emotional imprint. By mastering these principles, a man does not just attract women, he becomes unforgettable. The art of attraction is often misunderstood. Many assume that impressing a woman is about being overly available, showering her with compliments, or proving one's worth. However, true attraction is built on psychological principles that tap into deeper human instincts. This concept revolves around teasing, maintaining an air of mystery, creating tension, and allowing a woman to feel deeply feminine. The key to mastering attraction lies in control, not control over the woman, but control over oneself and the dynamic of the interaction. One of the most powerful elements of attraction is teasing. A man who understands how to tease a woman creates an emotional roller coaster, making her crave his attention. This teasing is not about being rude or disrespectful but about adding an element of playful challenge. Instead of offering validation too easily, a man who teases keeps a woman guessing. He might compliment her but then playfully take it back. He might act interested but hold back just enough to create curiosity. This triggers dopamine, the same chemical that fuels addiction, making the woman emotionally invested in the interaction. The unpredictability keeps her engaged, ensuring she is always thinking about him. However, many men fall into one of two traps: either they try too hard to impress, overwhelming a woman with affection and attention, or they play it too safe, afraid to say anything bold. The first approach makes them appear desperate, while the second makes them boring. The ideal approach is one of balance, keeping her intrigued without giving too much away. Timing is essential. A well-placed pause before responding, a moment of hesitation before a kiss, or a playful withdrawal from physical touch can build anticipation. This anticipation fuels attraction, making the woman want more rather than feeling like everything is handed to her too easily. Another fundamental principle in attraction is the power of walking away. Scarcity creates value. If something is too readily available, it loses its appeal. This is true for material things, and it is just as true in relationships. A man who makes himself too available, always agreeing to plans, responding instantly, and centering his life around a woman, loses his value in her eyes. On the other hand, a man who knows his worth and is willing to walk away if he is not treated well holds all the power. This psychological trigger taps into a woman's instincts. She starts wondering why he is not chasing her, why he seems unaffected, and whether she misjudged him. This curiosity makes her work harder to win his attention. Most men struggle with this because they fear losing a woman if they do not constantly prove themselves. However, the truth is the opposite. A woman is more attracted to a man who has standards and is not afraid to leave if those standards are not met. This does not mean being rude or dismissive, but rather maintaining a self-assured presence. When a man does not depend on a woman's validation, he instantly becomes more attractive. His confidence, independence, and ability to walk away make him a challenge. And women are naturally drawn to challenges. Beyond teasing and maintaining value, the ability to create sexual tension without being overtly explicit is another powerful tool. Many men believe that turning a woman on requires saying something bold or making direct advances. But true attraction is built on subtlety. The right kind of tension is created through eye contact, tone of voice, and body language. Holding eye contact a second too long, lowering one's voice when speaking, or brushing against her lightly can create an undeniable sense of desire. The key is control, building up tension without rushing, allowing the woman to feel the chemistry rather than being told about it. Women do not want everything spelled out. They crave the slow build-up, the anticipation, the feeling of being drawn in without knowing exactly why. A man who can maintain control over the pace of an interaction wins. He does not rush into compliments. He does not immediately escalate physical touch. And he does not lay all his emotions on the table too soon. Instead, he allows the attraction to develop naturally, letting the woman's imagination fill in the gaps. This makes the interaction far more powerful than any direct approach. Finally, the most attractive men are those who make a woman feel deeply feminine. In today's world, many women are constantly in a state of stress, making decisions, and taking on responsibilities. A man who can make her feel relaxed, desired, and embraced in her femininity creates an irresistible dynamic. This does not mean controlling her, but rather allowing her to let go of stress and feel fully present in the moment. A man who leads with confidence, who is grounded in himself, and who provides an environment of playful tension, And emotional security gives a woman something rare, an experience that makes her feel completely alive. Attraction is not about trying harder or proving oneself. It is about understanding psychology and using it naturally. The man who teases just right. Who is willing to walk away. Who creates sexual tension subtly. And who makes a woman feel feminine becomes unforgettable. The key takeaway is that control is everything, not control over the woman, but control over one's own emotions, responses, and the overall interaction. When a man understands these principles, he stops chasing women, and instead becomes the one they cannot resist. Thank you for watching. Do you enjoy Peaceful Horizons? If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.